G'day, legends, and welcome to the Six Pack Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Aaron, and today I'm joined with a new guest.
You make this joke literally the same every single week.
And it's funny every single week.
I really don't think it is.
I'm so champion, so what you're trying to fit a can of beer was more fucking head on that than there is beer.
There's also a hair in it, which is lovely.
In the can.
I think it was in the glass.
Ah.
But anyway, it's still not a pleasant way to start a beer.
Yeah, not a pleasant way to start a podcast either.
But that's okay, we roll with it, because that's what we do here on the Six Pack Podcast.
That we do.
We keep it authentic, we keep it real, and we roll with the punches. Alright, what are we kicking off this week first?
Today we have our challenge. Again, it's one that I've seen, I think on TikTok. I really can't remember. It's I've called it the Hit the Mark Challenge.
That's a pretty cool name. I respect that.
I never actually listen to any of these videos with the volume on, so I never actually pay attention to what they're called.
Because you typically view them on the toilet?
Pretty much, yeah. So yeah, it was pretty much we roll a thing of toilet paper and we're trying to get points.
What we're going to do is we're going to have the table out into sections, each part of the table representing a different amount of points. And whoever gets the most points at the end wins, and the loser has to do a shot.
As usual, and it's what, five turns each.
5 turns each, and it's the sum of the points.
Go off the table is 0, and
Yeah.
before the first mark is 0 as well.
Yeah. So you won last week's challenge after a stellar defeat for a number of weeks in a
Yeah,
row.
I did lose like I think 3 or 4 weeks in a row. Hopefully, I can
This could be
continue
it.
my
This could be
reign
it. Yeah.
on top as champion.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I doubt it though.
I
be realistic.
I doubt it too.
Yeah.
But only time will tell.
Only time will tell. All right, let's get into it.
Yep. All right, so we're going to take it in turns. I'll go, then Ash go. Vice versa until we both had our 5 goes.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, let's go. First go goes to you.
Yeah. Obviously, because that's what comes in here.
All right, you get a total of 1 single point. All right. So I'm just going to realistically, I'm just going to get higher than you on each go. So
Also 1.
also 1. That was actually tougher than I thought it was going to be. All right.
Oh, I'd say that's 2.
Do we just say like if it's in it that counts?
It's got to be like
Majority.
majority. So like, let's say if that was here. or,
That's
like,
majority 2.
That's still, that would be 3, right?
Yeah.
I'd like 3.
Yeah. Okay.
But that was 2.
Yeah. Okay.
So 3 points, I'm on.
Okay. So a total of 3 points to you. I'm going to just get a 5 straight up.
Oh, nothing.
Alright, I went all the way off. And it's rolling to the kitchen.
Alright, you both had 2 goes, 3rd go. Oh, that's fun.
Alright, 0. So basically the same.
Oh, alright.
Alright, we're tied.
No net gain.
That's number 3, yeah?
That was the 3rd go.
Okay, 2 left.
Alright.
Come on.
Oh,
That's 5.
5.
That's 5. That's a good roll.
8 points.
8 points. The trick is straight down the middle.
Why do you keep throwing it so hard?
I don't know. I do. I feel like I do it the same amount. I get 1, and then I do the same amount. I go off the table.
The second question is, why do I keep going again? What?
All right. You got 3 points on that one.
That's 11. This would be fucking clutch if you pulled it off. Nah.
All right.
Aaron wins.
Aaron wins. That's 2 weeks in a row now.
It's
You
2
won.
weeks in a row. But I think you had 3 weeks in a row
Yeah.
for you.
All right. You know what that means to me then?
Another shot.
I'm sure.
Another stellar win by the A
All
mark.
right. That was an unfortunate loss again for me, but that's okay.
It was a shit effort as
It
well.
was a really shit. Got
You
3
threw the
points.
fucking thing off
Twice.
the table. No,
Twice.
3 times, wasn't it? You threw it off the
I
table
did.
3
I
times.
did. Well, can you tell I've been working out?
Yeah. Like, oh, fuck. I've admitted. I'll admit.
He admitted to something. Yeah, okay, what's next? Controversy Corner, yeah?
Yeah, we got a controversy corner today.
Continuing on this from the other week, Controversy Corner.
Yeah, we had a controversy corner. Not the same controversy corner. It's a
No,
different topic.
no, we don't talk about
Something I've been seeing in the media this past week or so.
Okay,
The potential arrest of Donald Trump.
alright. I don't know anything about this.
So New York state authorities are potentially gearing up to arrest him due to, I think, the money he paid to that porn star, Stormy Daniels. Do you know anything of what I'm talking about?
No, please fill me in.
All right. So apparently he paid hush money payments to a porn star named Stormy Daniels. That's a fucking name and a half. Have you heard?
Isn't this a song? Isn't there something about Stormy Daniels in the
Maybe.
Hilltop Hood song?
No, not in the Hilltop
Okay.
Hood song. So the New York authorities want to arrest him. Are planning on arresting him.
What was the hush
allegedly.
money for?
I think because when he was running for president, I think all this happened before he run for president. So they probably just threw, like most people would do in his position, he threw money at the problem to make it go away.
What was the problem though? What did he do?
Well, he didn't want her, I guess, coming out with allegations that he slept with her or whatever. He slept with her, I think.
Oh,
So allegedly. Allegedly.
Okay.
So yeah, they're planning. They want to arrest him. Apparently, they've geared up like the entire New York State police force.
Jesus.
I've been told to stand by. So I read online though how it'll actually work, because you sort of think of it like they're going to storm his fucking mansion, take him by force.
Yeah.
It's not as exciting as that. They just request him to come to New York and they arrest him there.
Yeah.
And then he'd just get released on bail immediately, because it's not really a big enough charge to warrant
And he's
keeping
also got a lot of money to be able to pay off that.
He's got a lot of money and he's got a lot of supporters. That would
Yeah.
also be the interesting thing
Yeah.
as to how they would react.
I was also thinking from a political, is this the first US president to get arrested?
No, actually, I remember seeing a thing about this. There was one back in like the early 1900s. I can't remember. I think it was like stealing a horse or something weird like that. He got arrested while he was president.
That's
Doing that.
Why would you steal a horse as a president?
But also, another thing that I learned is that you can still be, you can be a president and serve from jail. So, let's say that he got arrested and he got sentenced to prison. He would still serve as president from his prison cell.
If he was still president?
Yeah.
No, but we got Sleepy Joe.
Yeah, we got Sleepy Joe. I mean, there's a few people gunning, I suppose. There's a few different states and stuff gunning now for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
After the past couple of years.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Yeah. No, 100%. It's an interesting situation. I mean, I don't know. Well, is the illegal bit the fact that he's given hush money?
Yeah, I guess. I guess the way he's done it's illegal. I mean, out of everything I think that he's probably done, I feel like this is really the
This is the thorn in the side kind of thing.
I mean,
tip it over the edge, or
yeah, I guess. But you got to ask questions as well, I suppose. I'm not a fan of Donald Trump.
no.
But at the same time, how many other people have probably paid hush money to people and
But
done shit like this?
yeah, I don't know. Surely there's got to be more to why he paid that hush money. Because I don't know the story, but surely paying off someone that you've slept with isn't illegal. Surely he's done something and then paid the hush money.
Yeah.
And the thing that he's covering up is the illegal thing.
Well, I guess the hush money, I suppose, is a bribe.
Yeah,
He's bribing her.
Yeah.
I guess however it works.
blackmail or
Yeah,
something.
however it works, it obviously is illegal.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see if he actually does get arrested and charged. Because so far he said he was going to get arrested Tuesday last week, and he hasn't been arrested yet.
Well, he confessed that he was going to.
Yeah, he's the one who brought it up, because apparently he's got a inside man who in the New York Attorney General's, I think it's out of the Attorney General's office. He's got an inside man who told him.
So what? He just went public and said they're going to come and arrest me.
But
What,
there's
to draw
also
attention
it
to
also
it, or?
has been confirmed on other sources that they're mobilizing the New York State Police Force for the potential to arrest him.
Right.
So it does sound like there is some truth to the rumor, and I
Well,
guess
we'll see what
time will
happens.
tell.
Right. We'll see
Especially
what
with
happens.
another US election coming up. All I've got to say is I'm fucking glad I don't live there.
So glad I'm not in the US.
God, it's just, I don't even know who I'd want to I don't really, both options kind of crap, eh?
What?
Or Donald Trump or Joe Biden.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I feel like we don't have many options here, but I feel like even there it's even
Yeah.
worse.
It's like Joe Biden was just the better of lesser of two evils, really.
Yeah, I know. Even then, he's still pretty crap.
He's still pretty corrupt. Yeah.
But,
Anyway.
Yeah. Only time shall tell how this
Let's see
plays
what
out.
happens.
Yeah. So I've actually been seeing a lot of this as well on TikTok. Abandoned
You're
place.
becoming a little TikTok expert, aren't you?
No, it's...
We would have never thought.
Who would have thought?
All right, what is it?
Been a lot, I guess there's a lot of abandoned places. They're pretty neato. But seeing it all has reminded me of when we checked out.
Yeah.
The abandoned
Yeah.
villas they were.
Well, I actually find like ghost hunting and stuff like that. That's like I actually quite enjoy watching it.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting enough just going and checking out. Well, let's. I've got. I think that's another topic to get into a little bit after we talk.
Okay,
about
well then.
places. Yeah.
So we used to have this place. It was actually not too far from where Aaron used to live, called Scary Town.
It's actually nowhere near where I lived. It was much closer to where you lived. It was south of Coffs, not north.
Was it? No. Was it?
Yeah, it was south of Coffs.
Okay, never mind. Complete opposite direction.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was called Scary Town.
Yeah, it was called Scary
Because it was
Town.
near the golf course, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was near a golf course in Coffs. I suppose you can just say it doesn't exist anymore. They tore it all down. It was near the
Scary Town.
Blondeville Golf Resort in Coffs. It used to be, yeah, they built all these villas.
It was a commune. It was
Yeah.
actually like it was a Christian commune.
Yeah, so it was on this like farmland on the back of the golf club. They tore. I think there was only 2 left
There
when
was.
we went there. There used to be more. There was more. It used to be a whole bunch of them.
But they're all knocked down now.
Yeah, they're all gone now. This
but-
was back 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, the big kind of like big building. It was absolutely asbestos.
yeah, it was
ridden.
that's ridden.
Yeah.
So it's really good to go check out
While you-
before they tore it down. Really healthy to go check it out.
But it was really cool. So like there was like this like courtyard-ish grassy area, and then there was like a big kind of like villa, and there was a smaller kind of like guest house,
Yeah,
which was the second bit. But the main one was the villa.
and it was. I also remember that it was literally still on someone's farm. So
Yeah.
yeah, just cows, random
Well, no,
cows.
because it was on golf course land. So
Yeah, they had cows on the land, so you had to walk through all the fucking.
You have to
paddocks.
work through a cow paddock to get there. There's
Yeah.
a big gate at the front that had like a guard little box,
Yeah.
little area. So big silver gates with like a little guard. I don't know what do you call it? Guard station, not tower.
Yeah.
It's like so you have to go under the gate or like around it, and then you would walk into the actual commune itself.
Well, it was a bit of a walk too.
It was
That had big.
because it was on, and then the way up was the first little house,
Yeah.
and then if you kept going, there was like this massive villa.
Do I remember correctly? There were like 2 houses next to each other, or am I thinking of something?
You're thinking of the second one, so it was a little bit further up.
Ah, okay.
But they were like, it was like here and like here.
Yeah.
But anyway, the big villa, like the house was like a house. It was just like an abandoned, like single-story house. But the villa was double-story.
Yeah, it was.
But the only way you could actually get into it, because it was boarded up, it was like boarded up, and like all the doors and everything were locked, was you had to go up the side of the house and in through the top and then down.
Yeah.
Because there was like, I think they would have made like a makeshift, there was like a mattress up the side, and there was like fence grating which you had to climb up to get in through like a window.
Yeah. Well, I remember as well. Then once you got inside, it was nothing exciting. It was just all graffiti or
No,
smashed up.
like it was nothing. It was nothing crazy. It was like there was
We
a lot
weren't
of-
the only ones in Coffs who knew about it.
Yeah, no, it was just a lot of graffiti. Like the whole place was just run down.
Yeah.
And then just really like beaten up. But what was really cool, next to the villa was a big concrete slab of probably where another one used to be, or where one was getting developed beforehand. But the only thing that was there was just rows and rows of roof tiles.
Yeah, I remember
Do you remember
that.
this? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what you used to do was you'd pick up the roof tiles and you'd smash them. It was just a smash room, really.
Yeah.
But it was great. It was good fun.
Yeah.
You just smash tiles, really. But yeah, it was part of like this farm, and there was a big water tank
Yeah, I remember
as
the
well,
water tank.
like on the top of a hill. And you could climb up there. Like
Yeah.
I did it multiple times. Difficult. Like you need someone to kind of give you a boost.
Yeah. It was a couple meters.
Yeah, it was a couple meters off the ground.
Be like 2 point
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like just cows all around. You had the villa, and you had to kind of like climb up into the little water tank, and you could go in there, but bad idea.
It's bad enough idea just going in these specimens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it was nothing ever interesting really ever happened.
It's cool though. Like,
cool.
I went there a few times.
Yeah, but it doesn't exist anymore. They tore it all down. I think they're building it. Are they building anything on the land now?
Another commune.
Maybe, yeah, but nah. I think they got sick of fucking trespassers. So
And I'm probably concerned about people's health and safety
Yeah,
too.
probably that as well. But it reminded me of when we used to go yowie hunting.
Oh yes. Yeah.
I guess.
What is a yowie,
What
Aaron?
is a yowie? It's basically the Australian version of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I don't even. Yeah, honestly, pretty much think of Bigfoot and maybe
It was the Australian version.
maybe combine Bigfoot with like Usain Bolt.
It was like a bit leaner,
A bit leaner and like
faster.
Yeah, yeah. It's basically probably a similar like height to Bigfoot.
Wasn't it like
then it-
7 foot or something?
Yeah, 7 foot, and it can run, but it can run really quick. So
That's pretty good.
the Bigfoot equivalent of Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
So where I used to live, north of Coffs, the forests around there had lots of yowie sightings. There's this Facebook page, I think called Yowie Hunters Australia or something like that.
I think I was a part of it. Like,
I'm still a part of it.
We didn't actually believe in the Yowie because it's like a mythical creature.
Yeah.
But we called it Yowie hunting.
We used to like going just out in the 4-wheel drive tracks at night.
Yeah.
I suppose is really the thing. But yeah, the area back of where I used to live, as I refer to it as, was Yowie really central for Australia. There was heaps of sightings out there.
And it was like they would see like people, or they had a unique call as well.
Yeah.
It's like a whoop whoop call.
So we used to take a couple of cars and go yowie hunting at night while we were probably near 12.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
It was fun. We'd just go out into the middle of the bush. We'd go on foot. We'd like cross rivers and
drive around,
walk through the bush.
And we never really saw anything that.
We heard a lot.
We heard a lot. I think it was always a bit spooky when you encountered. I think a couple of times we encountered other cars out there. A lot of people whenever they nicked the car in town, they'd bring it out there to torch it. So anyone you're typically encountering out there is up to no good.
Yeah.
So you really don't like encountering.
You don't want to really
people.
engage with anyone.
They weren't kind-hearted good Samaritans like us who were out there. They were out there doing wrong.
Because there was this one particular spot where we used to go yowie hunting that had, I don't know, do you know the name of it?
Called Widowmaker. It's actually a very popular 4-wheel drive hill. If you Google Widowmaker, you'll see shitloads of videos about it.
Yeah.
They've blocked it all off now with rocks and stuff, so you can't go on it anymore.
Yeah.
They got sick of cars failing and rolling down.
Yeah, basically there's this massive 4-drive steep hill and people would try and get up there. It very rarely worked.
Yeah, a lot of them were unsuccessful.
Most were unsuccessful.
The evidence was down the bottom of the hill, heaps of car wrecks.
Yeah.
And even once we walked up there and there were a couple of car wrecks just on top of it. Like, how the fuck it was, sometimes they were like these little sedan two-wheel
because I think you could get up to it from...
Yeah. But still, you'd always be impressed that they managed, obviously they were cars that people had nicked, but you were still impressed that they managed to get them that far.
Yeah, but it was like literally like this massive hill, and then there was like a flat surface which was like quarried, and then there was just down the bottom of another hill. It went like hill, which was just grassland, and then flat quarry, and then the big Widowmaker.
Yeah.
And then down the bottom of this hill was just wrecks, car wrecks, like burnt out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fucking sketchy out there.
So sketchy.
Because I even remember, that reminds me too of once when I used to go mountain bike riding out there too, and I once came across corpses of horses that someone had actually murdered. It's pretty horrific.
Well, didn't you, me, and someone go out there and find something, or was it?
We found it. I remember I found a tent as well.
Yeah, I think I was there with you.
That someone was still. I can't remember when no one was there at the time, but someone was living out there. We never really sussed it out too much.
We didn't really want to stay.
No.
No, because I remember you, me, and what's his face? You play golf with.
Yeah. Mother mate. Yeah.
Yeah, we went mountain biking. I remember because it was like near.
I remember as well. Just at the start of it, found someone's torched Mr. Navara. Nothing interesting in it though.
Yeah.
That's the problem when they torch it. There's nothing good left.
No. Anyway, that's bit of a sidetrack, but very good story.
It was always good fun going yowie hunting. Perhaps we will go again one day actually.
That would be
maybe
fun.
We'll record it.
Yeah. All right, so last week we were talking about places in Australia. We're giving our insider scoop on certain places we covered off WA. Talked about Northern Territory and that lawless wasteland. We talked about Queensland, but we didn't make it past Queensland.
No, we only talked about those three.
Yes. Yeah. So next, I think, appropriately coming down Australia would be...
Well, should we tick off South Australia first? I think that's an easy one to tick off. Both me and you, we haven't been there.
Okay. South Australia, outside of the scope of today, because none of us have been there. Well, I have been there, but I was an actual child, and I can't remember it, so...
but honestly, I haven't never heard good things really about South Australia. I'm going to bag it out despite the fact that we haven't been there.
Despite you haven't made your own opinion.
Despite the fact I've made my own opinion. Doesn't sound like it's worth going to. Rip South Australia.
Rip South
All
Australia.
right. New South Wales.
New South Wales.
I don't really know much about New South Wales.
No, I've never been there.
I've never been there.
No, kidding.
We both lived there for our first 18 years of our lives.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, coming down, you've got from Queensland, you first got Ballina,
Yeah, my big
Tweed.
cities.
Tweed and Ballina.
Tweed, Ballina, then Grafton, then Coffs, then Port Macquarie, then Taree, then Newcastle, then Gosford, then Sydney.
And realistically, there's not a whole lot that changes between them.
No, it's all pretty much the same. Well, actually, no.
Coffs is the biggest between.
You start with sugarcane fields to Grafton. Then after Grafton, it's bushland, town, cattle farm, bushland, town, cattle farm, bushland, town, Sydney. Oh no, Newcastle, and then it's bushland, Sydney.
Yeah. Yeah, so Coffs is the biggest place between Sydney and Brisbane,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah, it is.
It is. And then after that, it's about 6 hours is Sydney.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on Sydney, Aaron? You lived there for a period of time.
Actually, I thought about this because I moved from Sydney to Coffs when I was, I think, nearly 11. I think I crossed over to I've lived elsewhere other than Sydney for more of my life period.
Congratulations.
Recently.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that actually. I hate Sydney. I don't like Sydney. Not a Sydney fan. I'll never move back there in a million fucking years. I think it's an unaffordable, crowded shithole. It's nice enough to visit. I'm actually going there on Friday.
It's exciting.
Yeah, I guess.
It's not exciting.
It's not exciting. No, it's good. All my family... well, my mum and dad live in Coffs, but then the rest of my family live in Sydney. So I go down there usually a couple of times a year to visit everyone. It's nice visiting everyone, I just don't like Sydney.
I'm with a similar opinion. I've never lived in Sydney, but I've got some of my family in Sydney, my sister, and I go visit her, every now and again. I do agree, Sydney's very busy, and everyone just seems very stressed.
Yeah. Look, if I was a tourist, I'd recommend going to Sydney.
Yeah.
There's
It's
heaps of shit to do for a
heaps of
tourist.
shit to do for a tourist.
If you're a tourist, one place not to go is Brisbane. There's fucking nothing to do in there for a tourist.
Yeah. Yeah,
If you got to go somewhere in Queensland as a tourist, go to the Gold Coast. Don't go to Brisbane. Anyway.
Thank you. Yeah, so I don't know. I wouldn't live in Sydney either unless there was a good job prospect.
Yeah.
But then even then, it's like you get a better high-paying job in Sydney, but actually the cost of living is higher. So
yeah.
does it really change anything?
Well, it's just like here, like, you can get closer to the city for a lot cheaper. In
Yeah.
Sydney, you can't step within 50 k's of it without fucking
Yeah.
selling your left testicle.
Don't want to sell that.
Yeah.
Well, then what's after Sydney?
Wollongong, the Shoalhaven region, Nowra, Ulladulla.
Then Albury Wodonga, a bit further down.
That's west. Yeah, that's on the border.
Yeah.
You got Albury Wodonga, you got Bega. And then
Anyway,
the Victoria
less
border.
places basically there's more rural places. But there's Canberra.
Yeah, you got the ACT.
You get the
That's its own
ACT in
separate
there,
region.
its own separate region. You've been to Canberra, haven't you?
Have you never been? No, you've been to Canberra too. We
I've
went there
been.
for a year 9 excursion. We went there together.
We did go there. Have you been in the back?
Yeah. Oh, since then, I don't actually know. I don't
So-
remember.
Contrary to popular belief, Sydney is not the capital of Australia.
No, it's Canberra.
Canberra, which is in the ACT. Small territory, very small territory.
Only about 400,000 people.
Yeah.
It's a nice place. Nice enough place
It's
though.
very well organised.
Yeah. Well,
Canberra
they bought
is
the planned city.
Yeah.
They built it all to a plan.
Yeah.
Like I'd recommend.
It's
it.
eerily perfect.
It is really perfect. I wouldn't live there, but I like it.
It's very pretty. But yeah, that's where our parliament is.
Yeah.
I don't really have much of an opinion other than that. I haven't lived in Canberra. I only went there for an excursion. But I just remember me thinking, this place is a little bit utopian and
It is a bit.
a little bit, like, too perfect.
Yeah.
But who am I to judge? And then Victoria. I got family in Victoria. I've been to Victoria quite a bit. I like Melbourne, the capital city.
Melbourne's up there for probably my second favourite city.
I don't almost agree with
Rated
that.
my second favourite city.
Melbourne's
Brisbane.
cold. Victoria's quite cold.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind Victoria. I got family out in rural Victoria. Yeah, it's good. I don't mind Victoria.
No.
Overall, not bad.
Yeah, another place I'd recommend visiting.
Yeah. We covered off South Australia.
Yeah, we talked about Tasmania already, didn't we?
Nope. Nope.
I like Tasmania. I definitely recommend going to Tasmania.
I've never been to Tasmania.
Yeah, I love Tasmania. Hobart's nice. The whole fucking place is nice.
Yeah.
I
I actually had a dream last night that I was visiting Tasmania. Funny enough.
your misso's from Tasmania.
Yeah.
Well, lived in Tasmania for a period of time.
Yeah.
Your misso's been everywhere at this point.
Yeah. She's very well travelled.
Yeah.
Around Australia. But yeah, that's I've got no opinion on Tasmania.
No, I love Tasmania.
I heard it's very pretty.
It is very pretty. Mine's in New Zealand. If you haven't been to New Zealand, though, you got nothing to compare it to. I haven't been to really anywhere else to compare it to, though. So New Zealand's my best bet. So if you've been to New Zealand, it's like that. If you've been to Tasmania, then it's like New Zealand. So if you hopefully
either way,
either way, it covers.
Currently, I have been to neither, so not a great sample size here.
Your basis.
Yeah.
All right, new segment time. Top three.
This is going to be very opinionated. I feel like I know where this is going.
Top three.
Top three. What? What are we rating? Top three.
Well, let me explain the segment.
What are we rating?
So top three is where we rate our top three of a chosen subject. Today's chosen subject: fast food restaurant.
Oh, yeah. Being 20-year-old males.
Being
Love fast food.
yeah. It's interesting as well because you do work for a particular fast food restaurant. No one knows though what fast food restaurant you work for. No. So they don't know.
We'll never disclose that
He will
information.
never disclose it. So therefore, you don't know if it's influencing his opinion or not.
No. But I will remove my bias from this. Right.
So I think how we should do it is we'll go 3-3, 2-2, 1-1.
Okay. Let's set some parameters. What are we classifying as a fast food restaurant? Are we talking about our grilled, our burger?
Stuff like grilled, Subway, McDonald's,
we're including them?
KFC. Oh,
because they're like casual dining.
Anywhere you would go and expect to get your food to go and take away, like
Grilled's casual dining. Like I've very rarely.
Look, let's just say if you name it, then if the other person's got a differing opinion on whether it classifies as fast food or not, we can argue about it then, alright?
Sure.
I don't think I've got anything fancy in my top three anyway.
My number 3 would actually be Taco Bell.
Okay, I've not ate at Taco Bell myself.
Well, I mean, it's still, I think, kind of finding its legs in Australia. Like, we didn't have one in Coffs.
No. We got a GYG in Coffs. I mean, if you don't know what GYG is, it's called Guzman and Gomez. I think it's more an old thing.
The reason what I'm kind of evaluating here is value for money and taste of food, right?
Yeah.
They're kind of the main things that I'm going for here. I think Taco Bell has a very underrated value for money. Quite recently, my current favorite menu item at Taco Bell is a Chipotle Crunch burrito. Guess how much that burrito is, Aaron?
$7.
$5. $5 for a burrito. And to be fair, it's not a massive one, but it's enough.
Yeah.
And you get a meal. Guess how much a meal is?
$8.
$8.50.
Yeah.
$8 and you get a burrito, chips, and a drink. That's insanely good value.
Yeah.
And look, I will. Taco Bell does not beat GYG, which is another kind of Tex-Mex place on quality. But fucking GYG will cost you $14 for a burrito.
See, I'm not a fan of any fast food Mexican, so I really don't have an opinion on this.
Yeah, and I can get a whole ass meal for less than an actual burrito. A whole ass meal. That for less than a single burrito. I just think the value for money at Taco Bell is actually incredibly underrated.
Yeah.
I think they're finding traction, but I think they're better than. I think they're underrated. That's my number 3.
My number 3 would probably be KFC.
Really? I thought it was going to be higher for you.
Nah, I've got the other two. One of them I reckon you could dispute as well on it's fast food, but
okay.
My number 3 is KFC. I love KFC. It's not to say that I don't love whatever's in my top 3. I like KFC. I love it. The only problem, the biggest probably issue I had though, is the meal I always got at KFC was one of the app-only ones. Used to get, it was a potato and gravy,
the deluxe
chips, the burger,
the
drinks. but they've upped the price from now. From a year ago, the price used to be like $7, but now it's up to $10. It's actually still pretty good value for the $10. Don't get me wrong, but it still hurts going from $7 to $10.
Yeah.
It's not the reason it's number 3. I just prefer the other. Generally, would prefer the other 2 more.
All right.
I love my K-Fat though, so that's number 3.
Cool.
What do you reckon?
My number 2 would be grilled.
Grilled.
Grilled is great. I think grilled is actually a very good. It's great.
Yeah. I like grilled. I wouldn't crack. It's not my top 3 in my top 3, but
I get it.
It's still always up there.
I get it quite a bit. Like the only reason it's not higher, I think, is price.
Yeah.
Like,
But
I expect that.
What you pay is you're paying for what you get, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I do actually really enjoy grilled. I think I think their chips are. I think their seasoning's really good.
Yeah, the chips are nice too.
Yeah, and I love their sauce, and I just think it. Yeah, I think
You get a
grilled.
beer there. I don't know how to beer at grilled though.
I always get beers at grilled. But like, because I go to the shopping centres a bit. I like watching movies and stuff, and so we go get grilled quite often. I think it's great. Like, I've never had a bad experience at grilled.
Yeah, I like grilled too. My number 2 is Subway.
Okay.
I love Subway.
Yeah, my Subway would be like my 4th or 5th.
Yeah, I love Subway. It's also a bit like the things I like it a bit had healthier. You know, you got some veg on there. They actually make the bread there. It's pretty good. I always get the chicken classic with, I guess, on the Italian herb and cheese. I don't know why you would ever get a different bread than Italian herb and cheese.
I get white.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
To be fair, I've never had anything other than white.
You get extra flavour out of the Italian herbs and cheese bread. Anywho, that might be a discussion.
Maybe I'll get an Italian herbs and cheese.
Moral of this story is that you're a fucking moron. For getting white bread and not Italian herbs and cheese.
Oh, okay. I was like just in general. What the fuck did I do?
Well, maybe also just. But yeah, I love Subway.
Yeah, no,
Number 2
Subway's
for
great.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 1. I reckon you can guess what my number 1 is because it's one I haven't mentioned. I like. I would actually put KFC as my number 1.
KFC.
Yeah.
Number 1.
I would genuinely. I fucking love KFC, man.
I love KFC too. You really just like.
I would sell my soul for a zinger box.
Yeah.
Like a good zinger box.
Yeah. It's just always like a strong go-to, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're in fucking a whoop whoop, you'll find yourself a K-Fat and you can always get that for lunch.
Yeah, no, I love my KFC. I do. The Colonel and I just, bromance.
Because KFC is probably the fast food restaurant. Oh no, Macca's would be the fast food. Mainly because I get coffee from Macca's though. I get a lot of coffee from Macca's. Yeah, no, KFC is pretty good.
Alright, what's your number 1?
Noodle box.
What?
So I guess what I have I'll have to explain what noodle box is. It's something we have in Queensland. I really haven't seen it outside of Queensland, but it's like
Noodle box definitely exists in other places.
Yeah, it's like a fast food. Like you can get like rice and noodle dishes.
I can't believe that's your number 1.
My number 1. I fucking love noodle box. It's just a bit pricier, so I don't go there as much. I had noodle box the other night actually. Fucking love
For
it.
a bloke who doesn't like sauce, and you're like,
Well, I always get a fried rice. I don't even get noodles.
so you just like fried rice.
Well, they do a really good fried rice. I love noodle box.
Fried rice is difficult to fuck up.
But they do a good best fried rice I've had, honestly, other than...
So
like,
all you get from noodle box is fried rice.
No, I get fried rice and then I get usually two dim sims, a bag of prawn chips and a drink. And that normally lasts me 2 fucking meals too, because you get a pretty big serving size. So I get a lot
I
of
am stunned.
Yeah, I love noodle box.
I am stunned.
Fucking...
Noodle box is not in my top 10.
If you come to Queensland, I would rate noodle box.
No.
I wouldn't probably go there because... It's not really, like, there's better places to go, I suppose, than an actual restaurant. But, yeah, I love noodle box. I had noodle box all the time.
No, I disagree. I've had noodle box a number of times. No. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think it's awful.
You've got a vendetta against, like, just Chinese food. You don't like Chinese food.
No, that's not true. I just find sometimes it's really sweet and just horrible.
You hate the westernized version of it. You
Yeah.
want the authentic stuff, despite the fact you've never been.
Well, just like, you know, like you can get like proper authentic Chinese, but like you go, you know, like every Chinese restaurant where their signature dishes are just everything that's just covered in sweet syrup.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that.
I
You know
see,
what I
I
mean?
fucking love noodle box.
Oh.
It's definitely my pick. It's number one.
Do you like pizza?
Yeah, I like pizza.
Do you like Domino's and that?
Like, they're good. Don't get me wrong, but they wouldn't crack my top ones.
Either.
It's just, I'd prefer to make it myself. It's one of those things that's pretty
But if
easy
you made
to
it
do
yourself, I've seen you make a pizza yourself.
I normally make it a bit more exciting than the ones you've seen me make. It's normally not that fucking crap. You know, so you saw me make one pizza. So I think last time we recorded, I bought these pizzas. I don't like sauce. So I bought a pizza base, and I put just garlic and cheese on it. And
I still can't believe
Thought it
you
was
rated
great.
fucking noodle box number one, but you don't even eat the noodles.
Well, just because it's called noodle box doesn't mean I have to eat the noodles.
But you go to noodle box, you go to fried rice and fucking dim sims
Yeah, dim
and
sum.
prawn chips.
Prawn chips. It's bloody good though. It's $30, but you get a lot of food out of it.
$30 for fried rice, dim sims and prawn chips.
And a drink.
And drink.
I think it's alright for what you get.
Fucking hell.
I mean, compare it to like a Chinese restaurant or something, it's cheaper than that.
The Chinese restaurant down the road will do you a huge ass fried rice like $11.
That was pretty good, but not as good as noodle box.
Oh, I disagree.
Oh, well, I guess we just have to agree to disagree.
Alright.
Suck my ass, I guess, is my story.
I can't believe that. I'm stunned. Anyway, I'm talking too much about it. Let's move on. Alright. Brew review time.
Yeah.
But I did lose today's challenge.
So what's today's shot?
Today's shot is I probably should have opened it on camera, but I just cracked this. This has not been opened. This is a Starwald two-fold Australian whiskey. I do love my whiskies. Double grain. I actually haven't had this flavour before. It was given to me for my birthday by a good friend of mine.
When was your birthday?
It was about 6 months ago.
Been saving it.
Been saving it.
Very moment.
Yeah, well, it's not top tier, but it's not
Well, when do you
Jack
drink
Daniels.
top tier? Top tier.
like a $400 bottle
Yeah,
of
you
whiskey
do.
in my cupboard, which has never been opened because I haven't had a good enough.
So we're going to get a nice review of this. We're also going to get a review of the Han Super Dry 3.5 low carb.
To be fair, I'm probably not doing this whiskey justice by doing it as a shot. I
No.
definitely should pour it over ice. But that's okay. So yeah, this is a. Oh, fuck, it smells good.
Maybe just take like a nip. Because this is an
I'll do a
actual
nip.
nice.
I'll do a
nice-
nip and then I'll give
Yeah.
some and then I'll.
Because
finish
this
it
is an
off.
actual nice bottle, I kind of want you to give it a genuine review.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is Australian made. There's a unique bottle code online, which I don't know what that does. Maybe I'll investigate.
Yeah.
But yeah, wheated and malted barley, element matures in Melbourne's intensely reactive climate. Promise to deliver approachable whiskey with bright aromas of spiced vanilla, tropical fruits, and cereals. The palate is rounded, carrying hints of red apples and berries, soft tannins, and lingering red fruit.
So I guess we'll find out and see if you taste any of that.
It smells really good.
But do you taste what they promised?
Well, it's always a good sign when you don't cough. No, it's really nice. It's actually a really nice
it.
bottle. Do you want to try a sip? Just a little bit. Aaron doesn't do brown liquors. Aaron doesn't do whiskeys and bourbons that much.
I mean, as whiskeys and stuff go,
That's pretty good.
it's nicer than what I like. I just don't like brown liquors, like you said.
All right.
I mean, honestly, I'm not going to rate it because I just don't like whiskey in general. So I'll leave it for you.
Yeah, again,
Oh, actually, no. Honestly, no. This is one of the nicest whiskeys I've had. Really nice. The aftertaste is normally the worst part.
it stays around, like you can feel it.
It does taste really fruity.
Yeah, it's very fruity. It stays around for a while, like I can still feel it in my throat. Like in a good way.
Honestly, I'd rate this pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give it an actual number, but honestly, as whiskey go I've had, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, we probably didn't do it justice. I feel like this is probably
Yeah, we didn't.
this isn't a shotting
proper shot.
sort of alcohol. This is a sip sort of thing. But I actually really enjoyed it, so I will give that. Well, that's out of 6.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 5.1.
Up on one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's the highest rated spirit we've had.
Yeah. Well, that's also the nicest spirit we've had.
Correct. But yeah, that was good. And what are we drinking beer-wise
So
today?
beer of choice is Han Super Dry 3.5 low carb. For lighter beer, only one stando. It's pretty good. I mean, you really can't go wrong with a Han. Again, it depends how you think of it, eh? Like, it's just not something I'd ever go towards the bottle-o. But
We've had better beer, and we've had pure blondes and now Hans, which are all kind of, I feel like, fall into a similar
Yeah.
bracket. Where would you rate them in terms of hierarchy?
see, Han I really like as a beer. Well, I've had a few of the Hans now, and they're all pretty good. I honestly can't remember what I rated the other stuff at. This is probably at a 4.6, I reckon, out of 6 for me. Again, if it was maybe cheap or I wanted a light beer, I'd buy it.
So a box of 30 cans was $56.
Yeah, so that's pretty fucking good. Let's say at the 4.6. I don't really factor in price, to be honest, when I rate it. I just, I don't know. The only thing is, again, it's light. Like, typically I'll go for a stronger beer than this if I'm going to buy it. But as light beers go, it's really nice.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4.3.
Yeah.
Pretty similar, similar verdict. Not a huge light beer drinker. Obviously, like with light beer, comes a little bit more water and a little bit less flavor. I think better beer was actually probably one of the first beers that I've had with low carb, but that was actually
Stronger.
stronger.
It was up there, actually.
Yeah. But this one, like, yeah, it's a light beer. It's a little watered down than standard. But it's still, like, it's fine. It's not too bad. So yeah, 4.3.
All right. Well, thank you for watching today's episode of the podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Tune in next week for more exciting podcast action.
Yep. So obviously we got our socials linked in the description below. Feel free to reach out and provide us with some feedback, but also suggestions. You know, we're still saying we want to make this more interactive and more engaging. Yeah. So we got our Discord link in the description, but also you can find our business email in the About section of the YouTube page. Otherwise, click an arrow and you can check out a Phasmophobia video from our gaming channel, and press on me to view last week's episode of the podcast where you want to check that out. Cool. Thanks. Catch you later.
Thank you. Goodbye.